And as he spake these words, many believed him, believed on him, in him. And Jesus answered and said, if you continue in my words, then you truly will be my disciples, and you will know the truth, and the truth will make you free. There's the promise. There's the promise. And when you're enslaved, and that can mean just about anything, can't it? I don't know if any of you who are watching who are behind bars. I don't know that. It would be nice if you were able to do that. You can be imprisoned behind bars. You can be imprisoned in a marriage that is cruel. You can be imprisoned in a body that just will not be a good body ever. You can be imprisoned in trouble about your children who have lost their way and are breaking their own hearts. A daughter who is now pregnant and marrying a drug addict. Whatever. Subject to depression. Things that you never invited in to yourself. Subject to a sexual drive that you would love to be able to control and don't seem to have any power to do that. Nervous where you can't function and wish you were free. All of those things. And worse, you know what to imagine. And Jesus said, if you know the truth will make you free. And that promise, you say, well, he said he would make me free, and you come to Christ, and for a day or two, you're in great shape. Then after the novelty wears off, and the emotional, the adrenaline, and all the, the hormone that gives you the real endorphins, I think. Yeah, that gives you the real thrill. You function on that for several days, and then you get back to the usual, and the thing that had power over you that you hope was gone, and for a couple of days you thought it is gone, and then you become accustomed to being a Christian, and you're back into the worry mode, the fear-filled mode, the fear of dying mode, yeah. And then you're tempted to think, well, he made a promise, don't you see? And he hasn't fulfilled it. And that's where people like me, I mean, people who speak and who talk about God and, there's a rumor that we're teachers, that kind of thing. We need to be very careful what it is we're promising in God's name. We're certainly promising this in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. The truth that I speak to you, reveal to you, bring to you, that will make you free. But what he doesn't promise is magic. No. You want magic? Go to the movies. Truth does free people. But much depend the speed with which truth works depends on how enslaved you are, how deep in the thing that hurts you sore, how deep and embedded it is. We're not all born the same. We come in with different inheritance, even though many aspects of it are similar. We're not the same. And our childhood environment is not the same. And the people we meet when we are children to shape us and speak the right kind of speech to us, or if it's the wrong kind of speech, there it is, who act badly or act well in our presence, that all shapes us. Make it something else and make it bitter, cynicism, ceaseless criticism, brutality, even the physical elements, certainly the emotional abuse. All of that is going on. Anybody with a grain of sense knows that such people cannot be cured quickly. They won't experience freedom if they're in a complex life narrative of evil. We've always known, you don't have to be a scientist or a rocket scientist or anything like it to know when you see things happening all the time, the more often you do the thing, it develops into a habit. And if you continue a habit, it develops into a character and characteristics. And out of a character, there develops a life. It happens. And it's not just a religious remark. Neuroscientists are more and more telling us what happens when we continue to do something that brings us pleasure, or continue to do something that brings us relief, or do things that bring us pain or agony and the like. So that we learn, and our body, our nervous system, and a whole working system, we become afraid of certain things, and we do what we have to do to avoid these things. And that pattern of response, so that we will not get hurt, becomes well developed. And if we're doing something that we should not be doing, and I'm isolating the sexual thing because it's so common with us, isn't it? And it's such a strong drive in people in whom it's a strong drive. Get pleasure from that. And the more you do it, and if you do it smart, not wise, but smart just, and you don't overdo it, it becomes an addiction. I don't like the word addiction much. I understand what it means, and I think it's all right for us to have it. But it's too easily used, and nobody talks plenty about it. Now, exactly what do you mean here? Before you know it, everyone is addicted to something, and so the word ends up meaning nothing. I'm done with the word addiction. You do know what I mean. When we do things and act socially and religiously and otherwise, things are happening within us, our physical structure. The mind and our body are so intimately linked that in the final analysis, there's no separating them, not in this phase of living. So, here comes this person who looks like you or me. He's just an ordinary fellow, or she's an ordinary girl, and she is struggling terribly with something that's killing her, and she needs free from it. She cries about it and all of that. And we don't understand why she can't get over it. We don't understand why she can't dismiss it. Because we've known people who had the same problem and they get over it, like alcohol. We've known people who were alcoholic And, you know, after a while, in fact, some of them have just stopped cold turkey. But characteristically, I would suppose that they have some people who help them, and over a series of months, maybe a year, they're done with it. And others, they die that way. Well, you see what I mean? Other people can do it. And if other people can do it, you should be able to do it. Yes, but other people aren't that person. And an event, a wrestle, is not only what is external to the individual, it includes the individual. A 20-pound weight will remain a 20-pound weight. And a big, strong man can pick it up and play with it. A 4-year-old child can't. It's not only the weight, it's the individual who has to work with it. Don't tell me that everyone can stop doing some things or a thing that really seriously troubles, aggravates, depresses them, that they wish they could stop, and they cannot yet stop it. Don't tell me there aren't such people. Well, I got over it. Yeah, you got over it. And maybe in some cases I got over this thing, whatever we're talking about. Maybe. But you're not me and I'm not you and we're not her or him. And to treat these people as if we knew them very well, and to treat these people as if they really wanted to get out of it, they'd get out of it. See that? It's not Christ-like. Judge not, that you be not judged. For with what judgment you judge, you'll be judged. And the measure that you measure out to someone else, that'll be the measure that is measured to you. Give him or her a break. You don't know enough. I don't know enough to be a judge of these people. My brother Alec, I don't know if I told you this, had to be a while ago anyway, but my brother Alec died alcoholic. That is, he got so sick in the last year or so he couldn't drink. I mean, he just died of cancer. I used to get drunk, and I used to get drunk with Alec when we were younger. And I mean we got drunk. More than once, I mean. I don't know how this happens. But alcohol never became, other things have been and are a problem to me. Alcohol isn't. Why wasn't it a problem with me? And it was with my brother Alec. I have no idea. I know this. When we walked past the bar, we'd go down to Bangor and we'd walk downtown. And when we passed a bar, I didn't see him trembling. I'm overstating the case for the point. I can imagine him trembling. For him to go past the bar, that was a real chore. For me, it was a nothing. He and I used to get drunk together. And when I was ready, I stopped it. When I hear myself talk that way, and I don't mean that I thought I was somebody special. I didn't. There's no point telling lies about it. I didn't think I was some kind of titan. I just was glad I didn't do it. But why I was able to get over it so easily? Took me 18 months to stop smoking. So figure that out. Yeah. But I stopped it when I was good and ready. How did that happen? I don't know how it happened, but I know this, that for good or ill, we're not self-made men or women. If there's a strength in me, if there's a gift in me, if there's a lovely drive in me, you can rest assured I didn't create it. This is true also. If there's a drive in me that is out of control and bad, I didn't create that either, though I, no doubt, fed it. That I wouldn't deny. Sin didn't start with me, and it won't end with me. It didn't start with my brother Alec, and it didn't end with him, nor with you. We enter a world that shapes us, and depending on our makeup, our environment, nature, and nurture, some of us have a hard time accessing the freedom that God is always offering. We're not saying we don't want it, we just can't cash in on it. Well, if you wanted to badly enough, if you had told me in some days, I'm not going to tell you any more about me, it doesn't matter really, but if you had told me a long, long time ago, if you wanted not to do that, you wouldn't do it. You wouldn't have known what you were talking about. If you had told my brother Alec, if you wanted to stop it, you could stop it. So many other people. You wouldn't have known Alec. It isn't enough to see a wrong deed done. We need to acknowledge that a wrong deed is a wrong deed. Jesus says, judge a righteous judgment. Look, we know what murder is. We know what rape is. We know these, list your list. We know that. Not talking about is it right or wrong. We do things that are wrong, and we do them. It rises up from within us. Do you know why you sin? Why I commit sins? Because I'm capable of it. It's in me to be able to do it. And when the temptation comes, whatever that means for me or you or whoever, whenever it comes, you feel the pull. Oh, go on. Speak a word that you know hurts her. Spread a truth about him that really guts him. We all do it. Yeah. And here we go. We're all tempted in our own different ways. Apathy. I don't care. Weren't there badges on it? Oh, they had to be button at one point. I remember that. And in fact, I was told just a week ago or days ago, a girl had a wee badge on it. It was a rabbit. And it says on it, hello. Hello. I don't care. Something like that. Or, hello, thank you, but I don't care. And that was the button. It's humorous, but it's also true that sometimes we're shaped by, I don't care what happens, as long as me and mine are okay. What do I care about the people wherever? What do I care about the girl who didn't get her job, who lost the job, or was hit by a car and is now crippled? What do I care? We don't like to think we would be like that, but we nod at that. Oh, well, that's right. And then before we know it, we're away. And but I need to say this when I'm saying that. God doesn't expect you and me to be God. We're not God. He doesn't hold us responsible for that. We can't. We're not sinless. We can't feel everything for everyone. We cannot. And God, if he walked in the door where you are or in my door, he would say, you get any sense? I don't expect you to be me. I just want you to play the hand that's dealt you, and with the help you get, do what you can. Jesus said the truth it'll make you free. And it'll take a while. And do you know what makes us kind of down in the mouth about it? All the promises we've made down the years, and we made them with blood red earnestness, and we broke them. Our lives, well, mine is littered down the years with promise there, promise, just scores of promises, hundreds of promises that I made and broke. Things I said I would do and didn't do, things I said I wouldn't do and did. You know what I mean. Truths that I knew I should work with and didn't. Things I don't know where I'm going with the rest of it. I've forgotten what I'm saying now other than this. God doesn't expect you to know everything. You can't feel for everyone. He's not asking you now to be sinless. Forget that. He just wants you to know that he will free you. He just wants me to know that he'll free me, and that it will take time. And because we can do a thing right once or twice or 3 times doesn't mean we can do it every time, all the time. And a lot depends on how deep the trouble is that's down in us, and all the things it's affecting. You and I can walk into Walmart, we don't steal. It's a nothing. We've outgrown, if we ever had anything like that, we've outgrown that. Don't even think about it anymore. There's some things that we can stop like that with help, you see, and because we're inwardly structured. Why would that remark? All I said to him was, "You're stupid." And he started climbing the walls in anger. It was only a word, for pity's sake. No. It wasn't only a word. I told him, "You're stupid." And he, a boy, or she, a girl, who has lived in a home, well, that's all they've ever heard. And they wrestle with a deep self-hatred, profound insecurity. And I use the trigger that gets them going. And afraid of dying. I need to watch this. I think it's true, of course, but I need to watch it. I tend to say that death is overrated. I believe that with all my heart. But I tend to think that because personally, I'm 80 years of age. I've had a good life, and when it's my turn, it's my turn. I don't worry about dying. And because I think that is true, I think that's true what I just told you. I don't care about dying. But because that's true of me, I mustn't speak as if there's something superior about that and give the impression to people who worry about dying that there's some kind of second-class Christian citizen or a wimp or something like that. And none of that is right, so I need to be careful. Are you a preacher? Watch your mouth. Are you a teacher? Be careful how you talk to people. If you come across me, I don't know where, if you come across me being just ugly in my speech, you must get in touch with me. I'm capable of it. I want no more of it. But beyond the speech and that, I want to stop. I want to be done with looking at people and thinking I know who they are and how quickly they should be growing. Well, I know a dozen people, they became Christians only 6 months ago, and they're farther down the road than she is, and she's been a Christian for 15 years. And so she who has been a Christian for 15 years hasn't grown the way that one has grown who's been a Christian a year. See? Guess who's trying and who isn't? And whoever it is that talk like that, guess who's stupid? You know anything about her who's been a Christian for 15 years? Anything? You know anything about her structure and her fears and the pain and the life and the single moments that occurred that she couldn't handle and have now left the scars? You know anything about that sweet man or woman there who's only a Christian a year? You know anything about them? You know how they're built? Did they come out of the womb calm, ready to live with the world? Did they come out strong in ways and gifted in ways that enable them to be patient? Did they live in a home and with people that led them to believe, all in all, I know there are bad people, but the world is filled with people you can trust. Do you know that she's that kind? Yeah. So when they both came to Christ, they didn't come to him the same person. When he works with her, who's been a Christian now for 15 years and doesn't appear to be as successful as she, you want to conclude that she's to blame? That you know this? You don't. You don't. I don't. Hey, look. Even when we see Hindu people, Muslim people, whoever people, when we see people badly beaten and badly hurt, we don't ask what their religion is. We don't ask what their moral status is. Every now and again, we come across a man or a woman who has been so brutal, and they get badly hurt or they get killed, like Ceausescu and his wife in Romania, where the people up and slew them. You come across people, and when they die, you feel no pain. Hitler goes under, and you feel no pain. That's not all vengeance, mark you. That's the love of justice. And when I say justice, I mean not a savage, teeth-baring kind. I mean this was wrong, and it's a good thing he's been stopped. Yeah. We need to stop pretending we really know what's going on with people. And we need to give them a break. When we see these people, whatever religion they are, when we see them starving and homeless and lonely in the whole bit, our heart goes out to them. You don't have to be a Christian to feel that. Humans feel that. I know some don't. I get that. But humans feel for one another. Humans feel for one another. And for me, to look at a brother and a sister struggling with something and bury them with my speech, despise them and have that sneer in my mind all the time about them, disappointed in you, that's terrible. And if you and I are blessed, Jesus will look at us right off the page. As you're looking at me now and I'm looking at you, he will look and say, if you continue in my word, then you'll truly be my disciple, and you will know the truth, and the truth will make you free, and you will be free from this tendency to brutalize people who struggle still in captivity and longing for freedom. Give them a hand. Give them a break. Did I get too rude there? I was getting exercised. I hope I wasn't rude. But I know people who are trying. They're not hypocrites. They're not up to it right this minute. They're doing their best. And if you really give them a hard time, you won't see this happening. But Jesus will walk up, put his arm around his or her shoulders, and he'll look back at you. That's what'll happen. Give them a break, will you? Let us help them toward freedom. And in helping them toward freedom, Christ will be smiling and saying, I'm doing well with him or her. They're abiding in my word. And the truth is setting them free. Thank you, and the Lord bless you. Please come back.